Randall, I have a question. Don't say anything. Does the name Huda mean anything to you?
Huda?
Huda. Huda?
No,
Huda?
no, not yet. It
Okay.
doesn't. Can you spell it?
Huda.
No.
Great. I sent you something. I want you to open it up.
Do I need to hear it?
You need to look at it and understand there's going to be a line that says Aidan. There's going to be a line that says Randall.
Oh, we're doing this. I see.
Okay. So this is, I just do this script with me. Okay. Just read it.
All right, let me open it up on this computer so that I
Okay.
can
So you,
look at the camera and do it.
okay. You ready?
Do I? What's my motivation?
You are a dumb white male.
I'm in.
Is that good enough for you?
I'll be a natural.
Okay, perfect. And scene. I have a secret to tell you. All the girls know, Jeremiah knows, but you have to promise me you're not going to say anything to the other guys because it's not their business.
Of course,
But I'm a mommy.
mommy,
I'm a mom.
mamacita,
No, I'm a mommy.
mom of what? A dog?
I have a daughter.
Like in real life? Like a real baby?
Yeah, like a human child.
Wait, that is so cute.
Thanks.
How old is he or she?
She's 4. She's going to be 5 this year.
No way.
And scene.
There's nothing else. That's it.
It's okay.
Doesn't go any deeper than that.
I mean a little, but not really.
What was that? What
Okay,
did we
okay,
just do?
okay. So,
Is this a ritual? Am I sacrificed?
in a sense, yes,
Okay,
you are.
yeah,
Okay, so Love Island is back.
right.
I don't know how much you know about Love Island, but
Not enough.
there is a bunch of really stupid people
Mm,
together that just want to be hot and nothing else. And
sure.
this woman, Huda, uh, she's a mommy, and she was confiding in this other guy on the island that she was a mommy. And
Mm.
the video of it, I watched this live. I saw this live. I couldn't believe my fucking eyes. It was as bad as you think it is. Like
Good, because that
literally
seemed almost like bad writing, but I could tell that was a real interaction.
the young white man was like, he literally goes, "Mamacita," like, like, yeah, you are mommy.
Like, oh,
Like,
mama. Yeah.
yeah, and it just kept going, and then he goes, "How old is he or she?" She literally just said, "I have a daughter."
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
like
yeah, true. How
listening
old is
skills of nothing.
right? How old is yeah? Oh
So
my
I
God.
just I just wanted to talk to you about Love Island for a little bit and
Yeah.
start this off with something really special.
Well, I think there's a filter for all those shows because to even get that far to be on the show, you got to be a certain level of dumb. You just got to be a little bit, a little bit lower just to even get there.
I try to keep an open mind. And like
Hmm.
I know I'm not the target audience. The UK one is funny. The UK
Okay,
people are at least fun. They're dumb, but they're
right.
funny.
But
The
it's good to watch the American one because they're American dumb, and that's why people like to watch it.
I don't know, man. They are
No,
so stupid. There's not much redeeming about
well, I
them.
mean that's why other countries would want to watch it because instead of them being funny,
Oh,
they're
other
just
countries,
they're just
yes.
Americans, which are fun to watch be dumb.
Correct,
Yeah, I'm
correct.
in. I get it
But
now.
for the US people watching the US version, there's not much. It's like it's Jersey Shore, except also the Jersey Shore people were kind of funny, and these
Right.
people just
Yeah, true.
aren't.
They
They're
they had
like
their bits. All
they're
right.
just stupid.
Wow.
Anyway, I do believe I don't know if Kelsey's watched it. I do believe when this comes out, it'll be way long gone. It'll be
Mm,
2 weeks later
yeah.
in the villa. In the villa,
In the
uh,
villa.
Huda's already gone.
Oh,
The person that Jeremiah, who she was in love with, did not pick her because she's fucking insane.
to be
So
a single mother on Love Island.
to be a single mother on Love Island, I don't know if this is an NDA or not. I worked with her at my last company.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's your last company. So
at my last company.
you're fine.
At my last company, she's like a fitness person. Yeah, crazy.
Okay.
So,
Welcome
Love
to Who
Island.
Asked?
Welcome to Who Asked. Welcome to Who Asked. We are mommies. No,
I
this
am
is
Mamacita.
actually you are Mamacita.
Hmm.
This is actually the show where a lawyer with no trial experience and his hot wife go to rural Alabama to help his cousins. I'm
Oh,
Marissa
okay.
Tomei.
Ah, yes. And I'm going to be one of the youths, actually, even though I'm talking like the other guy. I don't want to be him yet. We got
Vinny?
to save that. I don't be Vinny for now.
Yeah, okay.
Got to save it.
Good. That's a tee up for later.
Oh,
No,
huh?
we have a lot to get to.
We do.
We have what's news. We have Trivia Tuesday. We have You Asked, and then our misery segment, of course,
Mm.
by the law of it all that
Okay.
I just brought up. I'm gonna. We'll see.
You're
I'm
gonna
going
get.
to school. I'm going to law school.
We're gonna do a Judge Russo prequel. We're going way back,
Judge Russo.
flashback sequence. It'll be great, you know. But until then,
I'm terribly nervous.
oh, you should be because they are hard logic questions, and I think you're gonna get 0 out of 5 right. So,
I
what's news with you, my friend? You got
what's
anything?
what's news with me? Well, I'm just reminding you. Told me to. Here's really good audio. You told me to get some notepads for later, so
Oh,
I'm
you
just
got 'em ready?
stocking up.
Okay, good. Yeah.
I'm stocking up. What's news with me? I changed this a couple times, but then something shot across my desk this afternoon, Randall, and I
Oh,
think it shot across your desk as well.
perhaps.
Um, Karen Reed
Oh, yes, yes, it did.
found not guilty today.
That's true.
Um, local Boston woman, found not guilty of murdering her boyfriend. She was found guilty of being awesome, though.
That
And
you
that
mean driving under the influence?
that's correct.
Okay, right. Because that one did. That one went through.
Yeah, that one. You know what? They got her ass there, but she didn't. She didn't kill her boyfriend.
Allegedly, right?
She
That's
just
it.
had 7 martinis and said, "I'm good. I'm
And
good."
then hit him on the way back, and he landed in a snow embankment. For those people that are unfamiliar with the story,
Sorry. Yeah.
right? Yeah, she didn't, right? But he got left. This guy got hit or something, and then wound up in the snow and died. This cop in Boston.
Got hit. I mean, listen. We can go. We
Maybe he
can
just passed out and fell in the snow,
true
right?
crime
That's fair.
story. Went into this other party. Cops set up. They got rid of all their phones. There's a very large
Cover up.
contingency of the cover up of Karen.
Yeah.
Well, of the cops about Karen Reed,
hmm
and they said no because there's too much. Randall, you know this, and I wish this was a question later. You can't if. There's no evidence.
do
You
you
must
know it?
acquit. No,
Oh,
what is? If the glove
beyond a
does not
reasonable
fit, you
doubt?
must acquit. That's what
Beyond a reasonable doubt that all that stuff.
I was thinking about the
The big
OJ,
one.
the glove.
Yeah, I could
Acquit.
tell.
I
That's
know.
believe it or not, that's not the standard. What
That
the
is this.
lawyer said.
I don't care what you say. That's my standard.
Also, they actually taught us in law school about how terrible that was. I mean, obviously, but
Of course.
it just you never get theatrical, especially when you don't know the answer to something. That's the big difference between TV show and movie lawyers versus actual lawyers. Is you never ever ask a question that you don't know the answer to in court. That's
Right.
but and you also never ask the gotcha question ever because that's just because not only are
Oh,
they never going to answer that on stand, you want the jury to come to that on their own or the judge to come to that on their own. You want to lead them
interesting.
on cross examination. You want to lead them and get them to tell the story that is true. Like if you're talking to what's her name, Karen, you say, so you were driving that night. Oh, so you saw him, or you had this many drinks, you did all this. Oh, and you knew he was in the snowbank. Either, let's say they did, but then you never say like, oh, so you drove away, you hit him, and you did all that, right? Because then they
Of
go,
course.
no, you don't give them the chance to say no.
Right. You don't say what you quote
Right.
unquote know or believe is
Right.
true.
You save that for your closing statements and stuff like that, where you can
Yeah.
put that out. So
Cross
it's fine.
examination is very
Mhm.
interesting. But listen, we're excited. We're happy. The girly pops are happy for Karen Reed. I'm wearing my pride shirt. I don't know if
Nice.
she's an ally, but I am an ally.
I don't have time to unpack that.
Yeah. Well, me or Karen?
Well, a bit of both.
She drove drunk, is from Boston, and had a cop boyfriend.
Right.
I'm putting some pieces of the puzzle together, Randall.
Yep.
I don't know.
It's fine. It's fine, right?
But I thought it would be fun. It's we're talking about law today, and
It's
it was
true.
a huge case. I
It was.
learned about it from some coworkers like over a year and 2 years ago almost now. I had no idea what they're talking about.
Mhm.
Found it now. There's two important things about Boston and cops. Cop dead in the snow and slide.
The slide.
The slide.
What slide?
The slide. The cop
The
slide
slide?
in Boston.
Oh,
You
with
know
the
the
guy
slide.
going down the slide, and then he
Yeah.
bangs onto the yeah.
Yeah,
Like the
you know the
kid
slide.
slide on the playground.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah. I didn't know
slide.
that was as big a deal as this. Sorry, I didn't put that up there.
Let me be clear. I think it's more big a deal.
I believe
think
you.
it's a bigger
I'm
deal.
with you. You have convinced me. Fantastic.
Put me on fucking stand, dude.
God.
That's
Are
awesome.
can you ask me? Can you cross-examine me right now? Give me something. Try
Oh
something.
God, this is I'm Randall. I think I was already gonna blow it. I was gonna say Randall. You're from South Jersey.
That's the way. That's how you cross-examine. Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes, because only when you're asking not when you're doing direct examination. That means like you're talking to your people, and you have to ask the open-ended questions. It's like, what's your name? Where were you? What did you do that day, if
Okay.
anything?
Okay.
But if you're cross-examining the other side, you're allowed to lead. In other words, you're allowed to say, your name is Randall Brown, correct?
Oh, I got
Like,
leading questions.
exactly. Like all you want me to say if you're leading me is yes or no.
Okay,
That's
perfect.
it. Mm-hmm.
You're from South Jersey, right, Randall?
Yes, correct.
Would you consider yourself a handsome man?
I would. Yeah.
Okay, good. I like the confidence. I like the bravado that you're bringing to this courtroom today. Would you?
You'd get an objection right there, but that's okay. Without a doubt.
No, Judge, please. He's so hot. Please, I'm
It
flustered.
was a compliment, sir. I promise.
I swear. You'd
Never
consider
mind.
yourself a Birds fan.
I would. Yeah.
And on the night of the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
were you tending bar?
I was at the time. Yes.
And you were chubbed up.
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with the terminology.
You were rock solid under the belt.
I don't think so. No,
You don't.
I don't
so.
recall. I don't recall.
So you see, Judge, if I may, when the blood flows.
You may not. That's another objection. you can't just start testifying in the middle of your questions. We're done. We're moving on.
Okay, I don't know. I feel like I did a good crossing.
You haven't even passed the LSAT yet, so you can't. We're not doing this yet.
All right. Hit me with you.
Okay. So mine's a little strange, but I really just want to know what you think about it. So it's a Jersey new thing. This new law, New Jersey is pushing this law to allow human composting facilities.
Huh? Wait.
What do you think that means before I explain it?
Okay, well, obviously immediately went to dead bodies, but then assuming going to poop.
You were right on the money on the first one.
Oh, that stinks.
Yes, they are trying to allow and make it, as they call it, natural organic reduction, also known as human composting, an alternative method of final disposition for deceased individuals. So essentially just thrown into the compost bin. Let the worms come in and go to town. What do you think about that?
I mean, it's just an alternate form of being burned, right? I can't think of the fucking word.
Cremated?
Cremated, thank you. Jesus Christ. I kept going to constipation. I was thinking of the poop thing.
You got something on your mind.
Yeah, it's just a different form of that, right? And letting nature deal with me.
Yeah, in a way. Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of thrown out, you know? It's like getting left in the woods.
Like, the part of me doesn't care. Part of me is like, when I die, I don't give a shit what happens. All I want is people to have party in celebration of my life.
Death.
Yeah, and some will definitely celebrate the death. I won't have enough money though for my kids, so they're not gonna get a fucking cent.
Right. Okay.
I'm not having kids. That's a joke for the real ones. So yeah, I want to be cremated. I mean, I don't give a shit, honestly. But then the other part is like, we're just gonna throw a dead body in the ravine, in the creek.
Sure.
Because every body would go into the crick of Jersey.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a facility, you know. It's like a big, probably. I'm imagining like a big open warehouse of like.
You're telling me that open warehouse doesn't have a crick in the back?
They might put one in. I'd put one in.
You'd have to.
Yeah, I think you should put one in.
I mean,
let it run right into the natural water that everybody uses. A little bit of body parts in there. That'd be nice.
Why not?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So you would or you wouldn't do it?
I would be fine with it if someone did it to my body, because it's allowing nature.
It's not somebody doing it to you have to agree to it first beforehand. It's not like
I know, but I would be like, you know how you like check being an organ donor? I'd be like, yeah, you can make me an organ donor, and if you like, your options for me are cremate, put my body into the worms. Fine.
There, interesting. But then you'd still have like your headstone somewhere or something like that. But you just would let yourself go back to nature.
I feel like many families wouldn't love being like, oh yeah, that dead body of my loved one is just
just there they go, decomposing in front of all the worms.
Right.
Well, there's that other thing. I don't know if this was just like fake stuff they put on the internet or not, but I know there's this company where they take your remains and like put them into like a tree, like a big oak like seed, and then it basically becomes the nutrients for this giant tree to grow.
I
So
love that.
then, yeah, so then you can become a tree in your afterlife. But
I really love
I
that.
see, I like that a little bit better than this, I think,
I
just
think
because
that I'm comfortable saying
yeah,
agree.
I think, like, I don't know, but it's the same thing at the end of the day. It's just I'm choosing to become dirt for some Joyzy tomatoes or in a nice oak tree in the backyard. You know what I
Well, when
mean?
you say it like that, I know I know what you're gonna do. Obviously, you want to
True.
be a fucking Roma.
It would be nice to be the soil of a tomato plant. That must be a nice way to go.
That's gotta be fucking sweet. And then you'd become the fucking shit ass scent for the Miss
Okay,
fucking
no, you think
Myers.
they actually get it from tomatoes? They don't. There's no way.
I don't know, dude. It smells so fucking bad.
No, we can't do it again.
Do you want to? Yeah, all right. All right.
No, you're
Hey.
wrong. The end. So that's what's news with me. If I die, don't turn me into a pile of dirt.
Okay, but
The
I
end.
can turn you into an oak tree and a tomato plant.
Yep,
Okay,
absolutely. This
done.
is looking at the
Well,
camera. Yes, do it. Go
hold on.
ahead.
You
What?
would be a pile of dirt to be a tomato plant, just so we're clear.
Well, yeah, but like, don't put me in the composting
Okay, fine.
facility.
Yep. Okay, understood. I'm
Put me
just
in
for
your
legal
own
reasons. For
composting
legal reasons,
facility.
I'm getting all our T's crossed, I's
Right. Yeah.
dotted,
Yeah.
and
This might as well be, perfect and
yeah,
legally
this
actionable.
anything said on this podcast is law.
Yes, without a doubt.
Speaking of law,
And with that, oh my God.
okay, hit me, Randall. You're.
All
I'm gonna
right.
let.
Are you ready for this? A little bit of
No, dude.
LSAT questions.
I'm so nervous. I am.
So
I'm feeling as stupid as I ever have right now.
I think you will afterwards too. But that's
Okay.
okay because, I studied for this for a while. I studied for this in college with a lot of our drunk friends constantly yelling at me to
Oh
come
my god.
play. Yeah, like, okay, do you want to?
I don't
Because,
know if I know it.
yeah, okay. Well, long story short, I was studying the night before the LSAT, and our friends decided that I think it was like a Thursday night. So everybody was, of course, drinking, going
Right.
crazy. Everybody was banging on my door trying to get me to come out. I was saying, no, I got to study. I got to study. And then our one friend, Carly, was like,
Yep.
oh, I'm leaving. You got to say bye to me. And I was
Yep.
like, no, no, you got to open. Fine. I opened the door to say bye. And a cascade of 20 people run into my room. I got absolutely baited, and they pinned me onto my bed and took all my instruments and started singing songs to me.
It. The only thing I can think of is like the song is somewhere up here, but the best way I can describe it for the audience is think Randall has a mangina.
That's
Randall
not what it
has a man.
was.
No, I know it's not what it was, but it was along the lines of being that annoying.
It was more annoying than that because
I,
I'll tell
I
you
don't
what, it
know.
was I think it's Heart and Soul that they were playing, and they were singing Randall Brown, we're hanging out with Randall Brown,
Oh,
we're
that
hanging
is
out with
right.
Randall, we're hanging out with Brown, and then they would just
We're hanging out with
do it
Brown.
again, and they would
Yep,
just do it again.
you're
And
so
it was our
right.
buddy Shane on the piano who
Uh huh.
always takes the bits for 2 hours longer than they need to be, and he just kept going. And that was my night before the LSAT. And then I woke up in the morning, and it was negative 12 degrees or something like that, and I had
Oh,
to
and
get
your
my
car
car
didn't
going,
start.
and my car didn't start. So I
Yep.
ran into your bedroom and said, I need your keys so I can go take the LSAT. And
Yeah.
now here we are. I'm giving you an LSAT questionnaire.
Oh
So
my god. All right.
so again, these are logic questions. They're going to sound a little funky, a little weird, but I tried to make them. I put in some like pop culture stuff, so like it's easier than like some of the questions would
Did you
be on
include
the
Huda?
LSAT. Huda didn't make the cut.
Oh
Sorry.
shit. Okay.
Okay, so the first question is a logical reasoning question. So in 2023, streams of the song Barbie Girl increased over 300% following the release of the Barbie movie. A pop culture columnist concluded that the movie's release caused renewed interest in the song. Which of the following, if true, would most weaken the columnist's argument?
Okay.
A. The film broke box office records globally in its first weekend. B. The movie included a remix of Barbie Girl in its final scene. C. Streams of other 1990s pop songs also increased after the movie's release. D. Barbie Girl was added to TikTok's trending sounds the same week the film was released. Or E. Aqua, the band behind Barbie Girl, began a reunion tour in 2023.
So, are these all supposed to be true? Like, are these all?
So it's which of the following, if they're true, would most weaken the columnist's argument? So what is the strongest argument against their statement that The movie's release caused renewed interest in Barbie Girl.
Okay. Here's where I'm gonna start from the top
Okay.
and say box office checks out. Remix of Barbie Girl checks out. Um, Streams increased for all 90s songs. The last three are where we're gonna start. Streams increased for all 90 songs from that movie. Okay, if that's true, no real further correlation to say like there was a bunch of 90 songs in the movie. Maybe TikTok released it. That's I feel like a pretty easy one, and then the Aqua. I feel like it's too easy. Streams of the 90 songs increased also because that could happen for a number of reasons. That could happen for Oppenheimer or whatever other movies came out around then. It didn't specifically say streams increased because other 90s songs were in the Barbie movie, correct?
Right. It just says streams of other 1990s pop songs also increased after the movie's release.
Okay, so I'm going to go with that one because there's no real other anecdotal evidence other than being like, cool, 90s songs are in great. Maybe, yeah, maybe,
Sure.
but
So the answer is actually D, but you were kind of on the right trail there. See, D is much more of it's more specific, right? So Barbie
and
Girls
D and
was
D
added to the
again.
TikTok's trending sound the same week that the film was released. Like that is directly the song is going to get more. It's on the it's on the trending sound, so it's automatically
Oh,
trending. And
because but this was saying Barbie Girl went up because of Barbie movie, but this
right,
is Barbie Girl went up because of TikTok.
right, because that became a trending sound on TikTok. Yes. Mhm.
Yep, that was a
It's
lapse
tough.
in judgment. That
Mhm.
was a lapse in
It's
judgment.
a tough one. So yes, different cause could explain the spike, which weakens the argument.
Which, by the
Okay.
way,
Yep.
Barbie Girl
In
top.
a Barbie girl, in a Barbie world, we're gonna
Do you
get
remember the? Do you remember?
demonetized. Huh?
Do you remember the one where it's like, "It's fantastic. My dick is plastic."
Yeah.
Was
People used to
that?
sing that in like elementary school.
Yeah.
Or I do remember that actually, yeah.
Yeah.
People had a really dark and not dark, but just dirty version that they would sing as
I mean, I think it was like an
elementary
E Bombs
schoolers.
World thing or something.
Maybe, yeah, but it was like elementary school kid.
Oh
I do
yeah,
remember that. That's odd now that I think about it.
but banger. Aqua ahead of its
Absolutely.
time.
Yep.
I think if that song did come out right now, it would be a TikTok trending sound.
Mm-hmm. Also, I wanted to add, just because I just saw my notes here, you have set time on these. You don't, but when you take
Oh,
these tests, you have a set time on all these, and they say you should take a minute and 24 seconds on each question. And
okay,
if you get to a minute 24 and you don't know, they say skip it and then just maybe come back to it if you have time. But I'm not going to
okay.
put a time crunch on
No, I'm
you.
gonna put a time crunch on me. I'm watching
Okay.
the timer here.
You got a minute 24 already?
Yep, and we're at
Okay.
24 now.
All right. Well, you should wait till you read it. Well, no.
Yeah, I
Okay.
know.
Here we
Yeah,
go.
whatever.
So the next one's a logic game. So here we go. Question 2 out of 5. Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Drake, Olivia Rodrigo, and Bad Bunny are scheduled to perform at an award show. There are rules. Beyonce must perform before Drake. Olivia does not perform first. Taylor performs immediately after Beyonce. Bad Bunny performs last. If Olivia performs second, who must perform third?
Taylor is right after Beyonce,
Taylor performs immediately after Beyonce.
and then Bad Bunny is what?
Bad Bunny performs last.
Okay, Bad Bunny last, and then if Taylor performs no, if Olivia Rodrigo performs second, where does Taylor? Okay, so 24. Okay, so I'm 26. Okay, I got to admit. First of all, banger. Drake, pedophile.
Yeah.
I'm just chanting through this.
Yeah,
It's
no,
Olivia's
let
second.
it cook.
She's not first. Taylor's after Beyonce. Beyonce's after Drake. That's what you said, correct?
Sounds right.
Okay, Bad Bunny is last. So, wait a second. Okay. Olivia second. So, oh my God, wait, no, am I okay? Is this even?
They're like this on purpose. They're tough on
Wait, is
purpose.
this even possible?
You're definitely out of time. But let's hear it.
No, I have
You
20 seconds.
oh, really? Wow.
I have 20 seconds
Okay.
as the question ended. Olivia second. Who is third? Bad Bunny is last. So Bad Bunny is fifth. Beyonce is before Drake. Taylor's after Beyonce. What? This isn't possible. This
We'll read
isn't
it again. Beyonce performs before Drake. Olivia does not perform first. Taylor performs immediately after Beyonce. Bad Bunny performs last.
okay. Here's the thing, brother. Not possible. I'm telling you, that can't be done. That's my answer. It can't be
Is
done.
that your answer?
Yeah.
Let's see. So what's your order that you have? Do you have an
My
order there?
Well, no, because if Olivia's second, and then there's five artists, Olivia's second. If Beyonce is before Drake, but Taylor is right after Beyonce, that's not possible because then it would be Drake, Olivia, Beyonce, Taylor, Bad Bunny. But then that doesn't work for the Beyonce Drake part.
That is correct. Good
Oh,
job.
yes.
Nice. Not possible. Correct. Well done.
Why are you tugging my dick off,
Because
dude?
it's fun, man. I don't
Oh,
know. What do you
Jesus, I was
like?
sweating. I was like, hold on, am I the dumbest? I was thinking about one of your fucking friends texting you and being like, Aiden's a fucking moron.
No. That's all you can see. You can't even think
Yes, I
about it.
was like, it's
All
not
right.
possible.
All right. So question 3. We're moving on.
All right,
Logical
Jesus.
reasoning.
I'm
Uh,
the
you
best.
ready? Okay.
Yep.
A journalist claims that Tom Holland's portrayal of Spider-Man resonates more with Gen Z than previous versions. Which of the following, if true, most strengthens the journalist's claim? A. Andrew Garfield has expressed interest in returning as Spider-Man. B. Tom Holland's Spider-Man appears in more crossover movies than previous Spider-Men. C. Gen Z viewers report identifying with Holland's version of Peter Parker more than Tobey Maguire's. D. Critics have given high praise to all Spider-Man actors. Or E. Holland was cast at a younger age than the previous Spider-Man.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, so I'm really between two because it's what strengthens the idea that Tom Holland is more for the Gen Z. So it's
Yes.
between Gen Z saying they're more interested in Tom than Toby, or Tom casted at a younger age. My gut tells me it goes with the direct one that says Gen Z is more interested in Tom than Toby. The only problem with that is Gen Z wasn't alive for Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, or they were 4 or 5 or whatever. I mean, it was a long time ago. So Tom casted at a younger age, aligning with the Gen Z age, could make more sense. And that's my personal belief, but I'm trying to no personal bias in law, right? So
Sometimes.
I think Tom being younger makes more sense for the younger generation. Ah, jeepers creepers, Randall. Now you do have me in a pickle, a Brooklyn pickle. Do you need a final answer here?
Yeah, we'll say
Okay,
yes.
I'm gonna say, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna say it's that Tom was casted at a younger age.
Okay, which one is that? Sorry, I
It was
lost
the
it.
last.
E. Incorrect. I'm sorry.
Is it C?
Your gut instinct was correct. C was
Damn
right.
it! I overthought it.
Gen Z relates more to Holland's portrayal. So one of the things that they taught us when we were like practicing these and like that is like literally treat it like a math equation. Like put the statement over top like the other ones and see like which of the words like
That's
adds up and like equalizes like a fraction, you know?
That's basically what I was looking at, and it was
Yeah.
like Gen Z. Like it said Gen Z, so I was like, that's immediately where my mind went.
Mhm.
But I was giving the people some fodder because I got the last one right, so they need to think
Right, right. Of
I'm
course.
sandbagging a little
Hey,
bit.
you know they're tough, right? That's you're doing this without any studying. You're just going right into it. So,
Okay, so
okay,
let's call it 1.5 out of 3, 50%.
1 out of 3. Now, question 4: reading composition.
Uh
Normally these
oh.
are a bigger passage, but I just brought it down to a smaller
I
passage.
appreciate that.
So, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, major crossover films often introduce new characters while resolving multiple plot lines. Critics argue that this strategy risks overwhelming audiences unfamiliar with prior installments. However, producers counter that the shared universe model boosts engagement, as fans are encouraged to watch more films to understand the full story. Which of the following is most supported by that passage? A.
Is it
Critics.
asking? Sorry.
And
Is the question asking which of the following supports the producers?
which of the following statements is most supported by that whole passage that
Oh,
was just
okay.
read?
Okay. Understood. Got it.
A. Critics and producers agree that the MCU has too many characters. B. All crossover films introduce entirely new characters. C. Viewers unfamiliar with earlier films will not enjoy MCU movies. B. The shared universe model has led to declining box office performance. Or E. The MCU relies on prior knowledge from viewers to deliver a satisfying experience.
Okay, so let's talk the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean, I think that statement is right. MCU crossovers can overwhelm new viewers, and it feels like you might need to watch all 27. It's 27 in
I think
MCU
it's more
1,
now. Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah,
Well,
the
now,
first
but
in
in
the
the
Infinity
first,
Saga, right?
in the
Yeah, and
Infinity
then now all the
Saga.
new stuff is even more.
But I think the producers are also right in saying Endgame and Infinity War were the two most successful movies of all time,
Right, which was the culmination of all that.
right?
True. Yeah.
So both are true. Critics say there's too many. No, out. Don't give a fuck. New characters are introduced in everyone. Yeah, okay, fine. Viewers unfamiliar. Agree. Declining box office. Declining box office. Which agrees with the whole statement? Well, there's not a declining box office. I just said there's an increasing box office. I don't think.
Let's
Again,
assume that there is a
let's
declining
assume that
box
there.
office.
Let's assume that
Assume that
there
the statements are
is.
true. Yes.
Assume the statements are true. This could be the marketing brain of me, but the declining box office is the only KPI that is
Okay.
like
KPI
it
is
key performance indicator,
okay. Gotcha.
which says numbers are going down, something is wrong. But producer says it boosts engagements. Okay, no, I'm out. I had to read again.
Okay.
Oh, this is crazy, Randall. I am.
So I'm gonna break in here, give you a little breather too, so you can think more. Usually, again, when we were taught how to answer these questions, especially with these, they would actually tell you to read the statements first and then go to the passage.
Okay. I'm going to go with C. Viewers are too unfamiliar because you did the overlay it with the words, and that is where the words I found viewers unfamiliar with previous characters.
The answer is E. I'm sorry. It is the producer's argument, or the MC relying on prior knowledge from viewers to deliver a satisfying experience. Because the producer's argument assumes the prior viewing boosts the engagement, which supports E there.
That's a
So
really, yep, that's a really huge bummer. I was going to go with E. That was
yeah,
where.
I can tell that's my, but it happens.
Okay.
They're supposed to be all hard questions, right? So it makes
Name
sense.
all characters in the Infinity War saga.
All superheroes or all characters?
Superheroes.
Okay. And you actually ask on the spot. You want me to do that right now?
Go for
I
it.
think I
See
can
what
do
you
it.
can do.
Iron Man,
Wrong.
Captain America. Okay, I'm done.
I'm just kidding. Go.
Do you want me to do it? Okay.
Yeah, go.
I think I can. Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Loki-ish hero,
Yeah.
and Hulk, Black Widow, Hawkeye, Nick Fury, if you want to call him that.
Great pull.
Yeah. And then let's see. I mean, the second movies has War Machine. There is Rescue, which is Pepper Potts. That's her whole thing when she gets there. I mean, oh God, I'm jumping to Spider-Man, Ant-Man, Wasp, Captain Marvel, Black Panther. Who else we got? I mean, there's plenty of them, I'm sure.
Good enough for me,
Bucky.
Randall.
Okay, great.
That's good enough
I think
for
that was
me.
10% of them, probably.
Of total characters, maybe, but
Well, in the
superheroes pretty
Infinity.
good.
Yeah.
Superheroes pretty
Anyway,
good.
after that rant, we're gonna go okay to the last question, I believe.
Last question.
Was it?
I
Yes,
feel
it
like I'm
is.
passing. What grade do you need to pass?
I forget. I should have looked that up beforehand. You looked that up, and
Okay.
I forget because they don't like. It's not. It's one of those other ones like the bar where like you submit it, and then months later they're just like,
Right.
you did it. They don't really give you like numbers usually, but I mean, I think it's like 80% or something.
There's no such thing as passing or failing the LSAT. It's a
Okay.
standardized test used for law school admissions, and your score determines how competitive your application is.
Yeah. There you go.
For top-ranked law schools, aiming for a 160 or higher is recommended. So this won't mean anything.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not going to get a percent.
Yeah. There's no number we're going to get, and there's
Okay.
no essays you're doing or anything like that. So we're just doing multiple choice.
Perfect.
But question number 5, another logical reasoning one. We're talking about Game of Thrones for this one. So
Ooh.
in 2020,
Pervert. George R. R.
Yes.
Martin, final answer.
correct, and also pedophile, perhaps. In 2022, House of the Dragon premiered to strong viewership numbers. A critic argued, since Game of Thrones was a cultural phenomenon and House of the Dragon is a prequel, it will be just as successful. Which of the following most accurately describes a flaw in the critic's reasoning? A. Assuming that all prequels to popular shows will achieve the same success. B. Failing to define what counts as a cultural phenomenon. C. Ignoring viewership numbers from other spin offs. Or D. Confusing a show's genre with its quality. Sorry, there's another. E. Assuming that Game of Thrones was a prequel to House of the Dragon.
Interesting. Okay, so I did immediately write down B, no. I don't even remember what it was, but I was just like, that's wrong.
Failing to define what counts as a cultural phenomenon.
Oh, yeah. Fuck. Stupid. Bad answer. And what was E?
E is assuming that Game of Thrones was a prequel to House of the Dragon.
Oh.
Again, the question is which of the following most accurately describes a flaw in the critic's reasoning?
Okay, so at this point, my notes have gotten bad. At this point, my notes have gotten bad, Randall. So it's probably going to be B because I immediately said it wasn't. But all prequels achieve the same. I like the idea of not looking at viewership numbers from other spin-offs. That makes a lot of sense to me. Again, that could be marketing brain Aidan and not logical brain Aidan. I do think the logical part of me says the show quality. Why would you assume that the show quality is the same as Game of Thrones? First 5 seasons of Game of Thrones, let's talk about it, Randall. The best show ever put on television.
But then.
I know, but first 5 seasons.
Right.
Agree
you must consider
disagree.
you have to consider it as a whole. So I say disagree.
Okay, well, you can eat my ass. You're being a lawyer right now, and I don't like that. I don't want to not ask. I didn't ask for lawyer Randall to be here.
That's why we're
okay. I know, but in this moment, I'm gonna go with D. Show quality. I think you can't assume that the show quality is gonna be the same. They're different showrunners. They're different writers. Fuck Dan and Dan. They got kicked off a Star Wars project, correct?
I think so, yeah.
Yes,
I think they were supposed to do a show or something.
Yeah.
But I think that was also the show where they were going to have Gina Carano be the star, and then she turned out to be like a TERF and other bad things. So,
Gina Carano, not so good.
Anyway. Here's your final answer?
D, final answer.
You were incorrect. I'm sorry. The answer is A. Assuming that all prequels to popular shows will achieve the same success.
That seems so simple. Of course.
It is. Because it's logic. It's logic, right? So it would be simple when you think about it.
That's too easy.
Yes. I mean, because that's what he said, right? Like if somebody walked up and said, well, Game of Thrones was great, so House of the Dragon's going to be great too. Like you can think about it and be like, why would you think that? Like, no, it's not the same show. Just because it's a prequel? No, which is the answer A. So, I had a scoring key here for you. Depending on what you got out of 5, 1 or 0 out of 5 is that you'd trust a Twitter poll as legal precedent. But I thought you were going to get to 2, which was dangerously persuadable, but we didn't quite get there.
Shit. Okay,
hey, you know what? That was still fun, and you got to see what it was like to take that test. Not a fun test.
Maybe I'll take it. No, I'm not going to say I'm going to do that because I'm going to make a bad bet and I'm going to end up taking the LSAT.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Is it 8 hours?
No.
Or is the bar 8 hours?
The bar is multiple days of like 8 hours. But I don't remember. I think the LSAT was 1 day. I think it was like a 1 all day test.
Yeah, I feel like it's 1 long all day test.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Give me a little bit more. Okay. It's just, whatever, man. I should have just gone with my heart, my gut, my brain.
I mean, but that's the other thing too. Like, imagine that, but also you're still in that time constraint, and you're like, you want to do one, but you want to do the other. You're like, I just put A 5 times. Is this really another A?
Right. Then you're fighting the logic side of you again.
Right, exactly. And there's so many different sides of it. I'm not going to say it was a fun test, but it really makes your brain spark up. Like there's so many different things.
Which is fun.
Yeah.
And guess what? You passed, and you passed the bar. You are a lawyer.
That's true.
Fuck yeah, dude.
You know what? If you put in a little bit of studying, maybe we'll do this segment again, and then you'll be a lawyer one day.
I'd rather not.
Okay.
But I will just cross-examine you from time to time now.
Okay, great. I'm in.
So you said you weren't at a semi-chub, but the glass did break and no one else was behind the bar. So
that's a gotcha question. I told you not to ask a gotcha question right there.
Shit. Okay,
not only did you insinuate it, you also tried to say what you're trying to prove underneath.
I got to go back to law school. I got to go back to school.
You just immediately went into it.
Trivia Tuesday.
To be fair, my critique was don't end with a gotcha question. You started with one.
Yeah. What if I just started? Hey, Judge, I'm gonna do something crazy for you. You've never seen this.
Flip this. Here we go.
You've never seen this. All right,
Uh,
motherfucker. Trivia Tuesday.
okay.
So
Now,
that
how about
was
you ask
really
me a
aggressive.
question? Huh?
I'll ask
Yeah.
you a question. By golly. It's 4-3. We both got it right last week.
Mhm.
Because we're handsome. We're young, good young
It was a nice,
lawyers.
wholesome event. I like that.
This is a really good opportunity for me to shit on the Red Sox, which I will take.
Okay.
Which longest tenured Red Sox star was just traded by the organization last week? So longest tenured at the time of last week. Duh. Here we go. Mookie Betts, Rafael Devers, Alex Bregman, Chris Sale.
I was really hoping I'd heard of one of them in the last week.
Yeah.
I've heard of some of them. I will say that much. But in the last week, I thought maybe somebody would have like, Charlie Brown teacher in my ear.
Yeah.
Can you give me the names one more time?
I sure can, Randall. That would be Mookie Betts, Rafael Devers, Alex Bregman, Chris Sale.
I'm going to say C, Alex Bregman.
The answer is B, Rafael Devers. And
I was going to go B.
I'm sorry. Rafael Devers.
I was never going to go Mookie. I know you wanted me to go Mookie. But
I did want you to go Mookie. Mookie was their last star. They already had traded. Alex Bregman got traded to the Red Sox this offseason, I believe. But Rafael Devers, they just gave him the most money for a Red Sox player ever.
Yeah,
He was their longest tenured player, and Red Sox fans are big mad. Because this new ownership group is coming in the Red Sox, and they've just gotten rid of all of everyone's like favorite players,
like the legacy players.
Oh yeah, and they haven't been competitive. Like they're not making moves that are like, blah. But I saw a funny TikTok comment. There was a video of a girl like telling a bunch of dudes from Boston, like dads, on Father's Day, because this happened on Father's Day.
Oh, I see. Nice.
And she was like, Rafael Devers just got traded, and they were like, oh, this is another TikTok prank. And they were like, no, seriously. And they showed him the phone, and he goes, oh no. And the comment was like, oh, the way that oh no was said has only been said 2 times, right now and 9/11. So you know it's bad.
This is basically 9/11 for Boston. So it's fine.
That was funny. And I love.
All right.
But the Red Sox just swept the Yankees. But don't talk about that.
Ooh, yikes! Bringing attention to it too. Jeez. Okay. I'll change the subject for you. How about that?
Thank you.
We're talking Andor today. You just finished Andor.
Oh. Fuck.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
You just finished it. It's about a little bit of espionage between our protagonist, Cassian Andor, who goes off and does many things throughout the show, pretending to be many different people. So what I'm about to ask you is, which of the following is not one of Cassian Andor's fake names that he uses in Andor?
Oh, boy. Yep.
Okay.
Are you all right?
Make sure. I'm just going to make sure I didn't write it wrong before So hold on. I gotta go double check this one.
He's bungled it, fellas.
I think I replaced the wrong one when I was changing one. Oh, I definitely did.
Oh, Jesus.
That would have been terrible.
Okay, give me a sec while you do that.
Yep.
You're good?
I absolutely am good. Yeah.
So you don't even know the answer.
I just changed up the I'll tell you that after, I guess.
While Randall's looking at this, you might notice
No, you're gonna cut this. No, this is not going in.
No, I'm gonna cut most of it.
What's that?
No, I was just gonna say my background is moving boxes right now. This is the last episode in this scene.
Whoa, you're gonna get a new green screen behind you. Wow.
A new green screen, and also this is your 30th birthday is coming. I just turned 30. This is podcast 30th episode birthday.
Yeah, it sure is.
30 episodes.
That's, wait, this is the 30th episode.
Yes.
And I'm turning 30.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay. Give me the Andor shit.
Okay, so which of the following is not one of Cassian Andor's fake names? A, Varian Sky. B, Lars Quell. C, Keith Gergo. Or D, Ronnie Guja.
Okay, so it's B or D. I know Sky and Gurjo or whatever. Ronnie Guja is someone that is dealing with the Mon Mothma escape. But is that his name? I don't know Lars. I'm going to say it's Lars. I'm going to just stick with my gut and say it's Lars. I think Ronnie is the name. Even though he says I have friends everywhere, I think Ronnie is the person that he is when it gets Mon.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Correct. You were
yes! Right. Oh, a
Well
Media
done.
literate.
Pretty good.
Yes.
You remember the names.
Oh,
Yes.
fuck yeah.
Lars Quell is the name of Anakin when he pretends to be a slave in an episode of the Clone Wars. So
Oh, in a random episode of the Clone
yeah,
Wars? Oh, okay.
it's a crazy thing. But yeah, it's Ronnie Guja. Is the one. He goes up to the media desk and he's like, "Oh yeah, Ronnie Guja."
The
He goes, "Oh yeah, Ronnie."
journalist.
Yeah, and he goes, "Ronnie Guj," and he goes, Guja." Yeah, he corrects him on that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I knew it was that episode. I was just making sure.
You were right
Very.
though. Yeah, it was right in that area.
Let's see. Variant Sky is when he goes to Gorman.
Yes, and he's the fashion designer. That's his
And
alias
then
there.
what was the other one?
Keith Gergo.
Keith Gergo is.
I forget when he was
Keith
using
Gergo
that
is
one.
when he's on Yavin, right?
When he went to the Space Miami in Niamos. Before he got arrested and before he went
Oh,
to the prison, he
before
was
he went to
Keith
prison.
Gergo.
Yep. Okay.
Yes. Mhm.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Great.
There you go.
This is
Mhm.
another plug to watch Andor. That's
It's
just
just so good. It's
that.
fantastic.
That's another plug. I'm not gonna lie. I have watched the scene where it goes back and forth between when he's Keith Gergo, I believe, and it goes back to Mon getting drunk and dancing at her daughter's wedding.
Oh yeah. When he's coming back and all that.
When
and
he's
her
coming
doing
back.
the spin and just
And
grooving.
by the way, that club remix
yeah.
is
Fantastic.
elite.
Like if you hear that when you're actually out, you're gonna dance.
I'm
Big
gonna
time.
fucking dance, dude. I am gonna
Without a
fucking
doubt.
dance.
Mhm.
Excellent question.
Mhm.
5-3. I'm back up 2.
That's true.
I'm back up 2.
Well done.
The last thing this 5-3. Aidan. Amazing.
Mhm.
The last thing my note says is 9/11. So I was like, wait. I will never forget.
Yeah, apparently. Good.
Let's do some You Asked, Randall.
Okay, what do we got for you asked?
You Asked today is brought to you by Reddit.
Oh, my favorite.
Yes. We're gonna do an advice bit.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna read you this post. This post is from Low Fondant 6857.
Oh, some nice fondant.
Yeah. Here we go.
Big
Okay.
boss style. Okay.
Okay. It starts with okay. Sorry, I've said it 4 times. I, 23 female, know that it is common for women to read a lot of smut nowadays. My mom was never one to talk about anything sexual growing up. She was scandalized by a hickey. After watching Bridgerton, everything changed. It started by only reading Bridgerton fanfics, which is totally cool. She would talk to me a little bit about it, which was even fine for me too. Then she started to buy books, which again, totally cool. She started reading more books online by subscribing to apps. Again, totally okay. A lot of setting the stage here. It wasn't until she started listening to books that it became really uncomfortable to me. She does not use headphones almost ever. She listens to it when she's asleep. She has her own space because my parents snore a lot, so they have to sleep separately. Even though I could hear it then, I was willing to let it go. But then she would start playing it out loud when I was in the room. My sibling even told me that while driving to my graduation, she had it playing in the car. It's getting overwhelming. I've started to be sickened and nauseated by anything sexual because it makes me think of my mother. I mean, some of the shit that she has listened to out loud is graphic. Honestly,
Segment.
even making out makes me nauseous. Imagine making out and just being like, "Mommy." It's gotten incredibly uncomfortable and ruined any hint of romance or other stuff in me. Thankfully, I'm not in a relationship, but I would like to be. However, now I feel like I have to put myself on hold because my mom is constantly immersed in smut. So,
Wow.
Randall, I ask you.
I've never felt more prepared and apt to answer a question. This is
Oh, really?
No, of course not. All right.
You gave me a confidence that
Yeah. No, I said Sigmund. I was talking about Freud. Like that's such a
Oh.
like the mom thing. I can't do this because of the way my mom acted and blah blah.
Right,
blah.
right,
Like,
right.
that's the perfect cycle. But anyway, we're giving advice, not making fun of this person. So
well, I mean,
well, it could be both.
they could
but
be both.
Do you want me to go first? Or you want to go first?
No, please, your advice.
So Mother's Day is coming up. Or when it is coming up, I should say.
I was about to say
Yeah, I know, but
in
I mean,
11 months.
assuming they just graduated, right? Like I'm doing. No, I'm just saying, Christmas, her birthday, Mother's Day, maybe just buy her a nice pair of headphones first.
Yeah.
This would be the
Yeah.
way to alleviate the problem without actually asking about it. Just be like, hey, these are really good. They're good for audiobooks. They have great sound. They're noise canceling, and you can listen to this and blah blah blah. Granted, doesn't help the thing in the car, Definitely doesn't help listening to it on the Apple Play or the Android Play, whatever it is.
His throbbing member slid into my
So I think
sweaty.
if you start with the headphones and the headphones don't work, then it's time to have that talk and just ask them to listen to that on their own time and where you can't hear it, where we
I
can't be
could
that.
feel the bumps on the nipple
Wow,
as
you really got it.
great as the Grand Canyon.
Thing is,
It was like weaving
okay.
my fingers through a rainy desert.
Yeah, you could be a smart writer. I mean,
I could.
that is the thing though. Like so many people are. I mean, it's really a lot of women really get into smut these days, and like, what do you point at? It's like everybody, all that they love their books that have that stuff, and it's just like it's like they're the people that used to be in their WhatsApp phases, right, where they would have all that stuff, and they would write their own fan fictions, and this is just another outlet for that. So I don't know if it's bad or not, and I'm not going to be the one to ever have to judge that, so I'm not going to. But it's not uncommon, is what I'm saying. Like if she's getting into it now, she probably, if she was your age or that person's age, she would have probably still been into
She
it
would have
just
been a
as
book
much.
talker talking about the smut she's reading.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes. And
yeah,
all the same
yeah.
is my point.
Do you remember the smut fanfic I had to write about Aaron
Yes,
Rodgers and
Aaron
Patrick Mahomes?
Rodgers.
My
Yes.
famously, my Reddit account was banned
Yes.
because of that piece of work I
Right,
had.
because you lost your fantasy league that
I
year.
I did. I lost
So yeah,
fantasy
so your punishment was to write fanfic between Aaron Rodgers and
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes, right? And it was very graphic.
It was very graphic.
If I remember correctly, and it's funny that I would remember this if this is correct, I think you got 12 upvotes and got banned instantly after that.
Actually, so this was during COVID.
Oh,
I think
was it?
I had
Okay.
written it before COVID. I think it was like 2020 or
Yeah,
or like late 2019.
sure.
And then one night when we were all hammered on Discord,
Yeah,
I was like, "Hey,
I should post this
I
or
should post this
something.
to the NFL
That's
subreddit."
why. That's what it
And
was.
I posted it to the NFL subreddit and the fantasy football subreddit. And frankly, I got a lot of engagement. I think I had 100 upvotes and like 20 comments in 12 minutes,
Mhm.
and then swiftly was banned. And I was like, what the fuck? So to this day, I have a new Reddit account because my other one was banned.
Have you posted any new fan fiction since then?
Probably
If you had to pick two NFL players to write more fanfic for, who would you pick?
Jalen Hurts and Jason Kelsey. It's the easiest one
Wow.
I could ever do. Easiest one I could ever do.
Yeah, I mean that's
And
an
I
easy
can
top and bottom
interweave
right there. So
top and bottom, hands in, interracial. I could do a
yeah,
lot with that. I could do a lot with that.
you sure could.
I could do
Anyway,
My
so
advice.
since you're an expert, how would you give? What do you think she should do about her mom?
I think she should give her mom a Dan Brown book, a Dean Koontz book. Your dad doesn't read those?
No, my dad
That's
doesn't read.
that. Oh, okay, sorry. um,
He can't. No.
Dan Brown wrote the Da Vinci Code.
Oh yes. Okay.
So
Yeah.
he writes all of that shit. That's like
Mhm.
classic dad.
Okay. So give
Dean.
her. I don't think there's enough. There's enough smut in the Da Vinci Code for her to be into
No,
it.
we're weaning it.
Okay. All
Know.
right.
I don't know how much smut is in there. Dean Koontz, another one, and then oh god, what's not important. We got to wean her off. We got to get her some dad books that are just like mystery thrillers.
Yeah, we're gonna wean her off. All right. That's for sure.
Someone get her a rose petal for
Okay.
clitoris.
This is an. This is terrible advice.
What
I
do
think
you
the person
mean?
would be crying by now.
I disagree.
All
I
right.
disagree. I absolutely disagree. Get her the dad books. I think
Yeah.
if you get her some
Okay.
dad books and you just lie. Here's the thing: people don't lie. Why not lie? Say, hey,
Yeah, people don't lie on the internet. Definitely not. This is
no,
a real story. This
daughters to
posted
their
to this
mom
Reddit?
also
Oh, yeah,
famously never lied.
right. Oh, definitely not. Yeah.
Just say you're repugnant, or no, don't. Just say here's a book. It got me off, and then you hope that she keeps going and edges herself to the point where on page 563 of 565, she's like, okay, this is going to get like I'm gooning. And then nothing. You
then
have
nothing.
to admit that that's good advice.
It's not good advice. I don't think the Da Vinci Code is as good enough of a book to even. You think she's getting a 563? before she puts that down. Like, you could have at least picked a. I don't know. I don't know what you could pick.
Yeah, what? Karl
Nothing.
Marx's
Yeah,
books.
yeah, that'll get you going. That'll get you revved right up. Yeah,
Yeah, give her some
in a different
Marxism
way.
books and Anne Frank's diary.
All right. Well, I
That
think we should be advice columnists at this point because we nailed that.
yeah, what's Dear
Absolutely.
Abby? Dear Abby's
Yes.
that column.
Dear Adel. That's what
Yeah,
it is. Damn.
nice. I was gonna say something bad again.
Haven't you had to bleep yourself 2 episodes in a row now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about a
Worst.
lot here today.
Yeah, we did.
This was Who Asked, a comedy podcast. If you didn't know, we're lawyers.
Yes.
Have you decided who you're going to be now?
Who I'm going to be?
Yeah, from My Cousin Vinny.
Mamacita. That's
Okay,
what I'm going.
perfect.
I'm back.
Yep, and I'm Nick. That's Huda. You've been listening to Who Asked. Follow us at Who Asked Show on TikTok and Instagram, YouTube, Who Asked Show.
Mm-hmm.
Send your questions. I don't even care where anymore. pod.whoasked@gmail.com or where the fuck you want to do it.
True.
What do you want to plug, Randall?
Hey, you know what? Next time you see me, I think I'll be 30, right? Maybe we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
So I'll have a different perspective on life. So send questions for a 30-year-old that are about Star Wars.
Okay. All right.
Where most adults go to.
Fantastic.
That's all I got.
We'll see you on the flip. Thanks, everyone. See you.
Yeah, guys.